Okay, we are live. We're talking about self-esteem and we're talking about the solar plexus area, right? Because this is where our self-esteem and the chakra system is working for you, moving energy, which is called prana, the force of life inside of you, silent and free throughout the day with your breath. Oxygen is the breath of life, right? So when we're thinking about our self-worth and we're thinking about changing habits is a difficult thing to do, as you've learned in our Get Out of Your Own Way video. It takes 67 days to change a habit, and it takes a lot of work between that time to do so. Now imagine you have 4 or 5 habits that you really want to work on. That's a lot of time. But the idea in transformation and personal and professional development is that time is not a boundary, or it should not be a boundary. It's really about every single step that you take along the way. The destination is going to feel really, really good. But what's behind that is the steps to take to get there. What's behind that is not a forced timeline of how to be and when. It's the actual opportunity of action, meeting your intentions with action, saying that I can do this. And actually watching yourself in the present moment doing that, changing that habit, working on yourself. And how good does it feel to say, I did everything I could to be the best person I could be? So, thinking back to Darwinian times, Darwin said, the species that survive are not the strongest, they're the most adaptable, which is why as leaders, we focus on vulnerability, not as a weakness, but as a strength. And the more that we can be flexible and agile with things that happen to us. Remember in my next book, Lead by Example, your circumstances do not define you, your behavior does. You are the ultimate adaptation machine. Now with Darwin saying that it's not the strongest species that survive, it's the most adaptable. You have to start thinking about the hallucinations of the ego telling us we need to stay stuck. Remember that brain, it's that squishy egg white softness, and however you work on certain parts of the brain to really create rituals, to create habits, to create more positive lifestyles, to get out of the judgment, to get into the softer personality, the intelligence, and the decisions that you can make so that you can run your life like a Porsche, let it hum like a Corvette, rather than like an old 1980s car that just doesn't sound too well, doesn't look too well, doesn't feel too good to drive, and you're like this, right? Cars have adapted over the years to, look and feel like a smooth ride. And you can do the same thing in your spiritual life, in your business, in your personal life, and everything in your relationship. So when it works out right, when you do this work, when you start to make this work a ritual, when you change your habits and the habits become ritualistic and a lifestyle, it's like, we have to think about, again, the physiology of the body. There are 100 billion cells inside the body. There's 100 billion nerve cells, right? And they say that those 100 billion cells, they outlast the stars in the sky, the universe, stars, right? So all of that is within you. So you think about the more that we focus on meditation, mudras, asanas, breathing, an oxygen deprivation can damage you. When we're stressed, we don't breathe well. We breathe like this. The belly doesn't fill up with air with just short breaths out. And that's what happens when fear is present. That's what happens when we don't believe in our self-worth and we're letting everything get to us. Something is missing. So to put something in that's goodness, it's that creating that ritual. It's that you are the adaptation machine that you wish to be. How do you do that? How do you create something that's going to be a ritual and a lifestyle where you do something new every day until it breeds consistency? Repetition is the mother of mastery. Mission critical lifestyle choices are to do something positive and good for yourself every single day. Even if you're a mother of three, even if you're so busy, even if you have all of these things, what are you doing for you to make it automatic, right? We look at our mentors, we look at the greatest musicians, we look at the greatest sports fans. They make things look automatic. It's called automaticity. It's ritualized behaviors that are important to performance, where we're doing something so much that it becomes automatic, it becomes lifestyle, it becomes ritual. It happens automatically. So what are you going to make automatic in your life so that your self-esteem is calmed, your nervous system and all the billions of cells in your nervous system are automatic. You're conditioning that energy inside of you, inside the mindset, the heart set, the soul set, your productivity, your engagement in life, your prosperity, to become a world-class communicator and a world-class human being. You see, when you don't try so hard, you live in the ritual. You're automatic. Life becomes easier. So think about something that you want to start putting into your life, perhaps even for this month, even for the self-worth month. Is it something on a note card that you can write on your desk to say, believe in yourself? Maybe put it in your bathroom. Maybe get a new plant. Like I have my Christmas cactus on my desk. I have 2 Christmas cactus on my desk because I recently realized that they needed to be in sun and they weren't. So I put them on my desk. Maybe it's a new plant that symbolizes new growth for the spring, new growth inside of you, new growth inside of the confidence that you might not have believed in a long time, but maybe it's there. Maybe we need symbolism. Maybe we need something material like a plant that is nature and our teacher, to be present, to be turning towards the sun for energy, needing water for osmosis. We need water. What are all of the things that you can put into your life to say to yourself, I did everything I could to be the best person that I could be, so that second nature, so that you're not trying so hard. You don't want to be trying so hard all the time, because it's like that car, that old Honda from 1980 that's like trying so hard to, no, you want to be like a new Mercedes that's like cruising by, built in 2021. Something that becomes part of your life, second nature, ritualistic, habitual, in a positive way, can lead to your best life ever. And since we are working on our self-esteem and our chakra system and on the inside of us this month, I want you to do one thing, right? Focus on the power of one, because usually, like so many of us super achievers, we're like, okay, we got to do this and this and this and this and this. And then we overwhelm ourselves, and then we make excuses, and then we don't do everything, and we don't hold ourselves accountable. Or if we do hold ourselves accountable and we don't come into all of those wonderful things, then we start to belittle ourselves and beat ourselves up, and that gets into the ego. So we're getting rid of that. I want you to create one ritualistic or habitual automaticity ritual that you make that's automatic this month, so that April builds your self-esteem, your self-worth, your confidence. You go into that Manipura chakra and you breathe in. Maybe you find it a habit to take your hands and place them over your belly, like where the navel is, and just feel the breath. Doesn't matter if your belly is big or small. That has nothing to do with anything. How we're made is how we're made. What's important and what the matter is what's going on in the inside. It's like feeling that breath, feeling that confidence, and knowing when your confidence is not there, that you can place your hands as a ritual over your tummy, over your navel, to say, why am I feeling this way? Why am I allowing my fear to get the best of me? Elizabeth told me not to tap into my ego. My circumstances in my life do not define me. My behavior does. So how am I behaving now? What is my mind chatter like? How is my heart set like? Can I feel my heartbeat? Ritualistic, habitual patterns created as a lifestyle choice make you like Darwin's poster child. It's not the strongest that survive. It's the most adaptable. So be the best you that you could be this month. And if you're faltering, don't forget to reach out, share in the Facebook group. And I know that you can do this. Nothing is easy. None of this is surface area work. It's layers deep. And that's why we're all in this together. That's why it's called a mastermind, a VIP experience, because it's you're a very important person. And when you invest in yourself, you receive something back. That's the meaning of investment, right? When you invest, it means that you're going to receive returns. So that's where this one thing can really come into play. Have a great